Semen retention for men who are sexually into men is incredibly powerful. We live in a culture where sex is constantly available. Apps, hookups, social media, validation, and the deliberate choice not to engage and ejaculate is a power move. Here are some reasons why. You will develop a psychological edge. You stop being controlled by your urges. Within this culture, sex is abundant. And it's not a criticism of the culture, it's reality. When access is so easy, when it's so easy to open an app, to click on X, to go on a porn website, to scroll through social media, discipline becomes incredibly rare. If you can sit with sexual arousal and not immediately discharge it, you build impulse control, emotional stability, self-command. And that type of discipline leads into other areas of life, including training, business, focus, relationships, diet, leadership. You no longer blindly react, and you have more of a choice. Secondly, you reclaim sexual authority. A lot of men, whether they are into men or women or both, quietly rely on sex for validation, matches, attention, performance, being wanted, satisfying. Retention flips the script. Instead of who desires me, it becomes what do I allow? What do I permit? And that shift changes your posture, the way that you might provide eye contact to someone, the energy that you hold, and the way that you carry yourself. Not because semen is somehow magical, but because restraint that you have been able to practice signals self-control, self-possession. Thirdly, there are some physical effects of long-term semen retention. One is the increase in testosterone. Also, and perhaps more importantly, is the impact on your dopaminergic system. Your sensitivity resets. You might obtain higher enjoyment out of things that were potentially less enjoyable prior. Your desire might sharpen. There will be an intensification of your arousal, and alongside that, an increased ability to restrain. Another benefit is emotional control. And if you have been using masturbation and ejaculation to relieve stress, to avoid feelings of loneliness, to numb anxiety, to kill boredom, or to fill empty evenings, retention exposes that. No distraction, and an ability to be in touch with the nervous system and help regulate it by engaging in another more meaningful and worthwhile activity. Potentially reflecting, journaling, spending time with loved ones, a creative pursuit, training, going to the gym, starting the sport. Once we take away the time and the satisfaction that one once had and the distraction of ejaculation and masturbation, it is important to replace it with another worthwhile and meaningful way to manage your nervous system. So who should do this? I think almost every male, regardless of sexuality, will benefit from semen retention. But especially if you feel sexually compulsive, are burned out from hookup culture, notice your focus collapsing, or you're noticing more feelings of depression or anxiety, or you feel like you're not in control of your desire, try a 1-week experiment of no ejaculating, no sexual activity, and avoid all the triggers such as social media, porn websites, Reddit, whatever it might be. Make sure you limit your access. And if there's a time in the day that you have a wank, try and think forward and prepare for what you'll actually do when that time comes in the day. And notice for yourself the changes after 1 week. And if you meet that 1 week, make it 2 or 3 or 4. And if during that week you do relapse and you do ejaculate, don't be too hard on yourself. And notice the streak that you had, whether it's 4 days, 5 days, 2 days, and build from that and learn from that and reflect about how come you did relapse and learn from the process. Sex is powerful, and the man who controls his impulses controls himself. Try it, track it, observe the shift.